Hey guys, it's Thigh Company here. Welcome to today's live stream. Today is February the 17th, 2024. Hope you all been having a wonderful day so far. Hope your February is going all right. And for today's live stream, this is the part 4 of the Rooster's Dead series. Maybe this is going to be the last part, hopefully, but we'll see. So yeah, we've been a lot of things have been going on last 24 hours or so. So a few different things to kind of, I guess, continue off of yesterday's or part 3's live stream. So I guess the first major thing that we found out is that Rooster has a friend in high places called Sup Games, who has like almost like 4,500 subscribers on his YouTube. And there was a live stream that Sup Games made that I wasn't aware of, and I think it was a live stream where it was like 5 or 6 people watching. But that was one of the things that was concerning, was because that live stream covered the topic of the beef between me and Rooster. So we're talking about that a little bit in part 3, and eventually what ended up happening was that we lost a lot internet connection on towards the end of part 3, like around a little bit after 40 minutes. And what ended up later happening was I went back on Discord, and we found Sup Games through Discord through Shiro. And Shiro's back to normal. So if anyone's wondering about what's going on with Shiro, Shiro's all right. But yeah, we found Sup Games through Shiro on Discord, and let me see if I can go to the beginning of this whole conversation here. If Discord will load, I don't know why. Oh, there it is. Okay. I was like, "Hey, Sup Games," and he's like, "Hi." And I was saying, hey, my stream lost internet connection, and I was wanting to watch that live stream you were mentioning, because he was like, oh, I have a live stream that you could watch. And I'm like, all right, let me see what's going on. Maybe there's something I'm missing. And then he answers me, I've seen this. I'm watching the beginning now, which is like answering as if I'm saying a different question. But anyway, I'm like, which beginning? And then Sup Games said, I've made that live stream unlisted mostly for Shiro. I rather not share it anymore, but I can show you the screenshots. And so the screenshots that were basically sent were apparently there was a live stream of some sort where Sup Games and Shiro somehow like got in contact with each other, which seems kind of sketchy, meaning that maybe Shiro was like onto something. But apparently the theory that Sup Games had was that Shiro doesn't know who Thigh Company is and who Rooster is, which I would argue that is incorrect, because Shiro's been in a few different live streams. It's been rare because Shiro works as like a sushi chef somewhere, but arguably Shiro within the last year or so has been kind of more pro Rooster or more friends with Rooster. But Sup Games argues that Shiro isn't friends of anybody, rather that Shiro is a member / subscriber of Sup Games, and that he's pro Sup Games. So there's some debate in that. But and then basically Sup Games started sharing all the screenshots that Shiro sent to Sup Games about my conversation with Shiro, meaning that Shiro thinks it's appropriate to be sending that stuff or whatever. Then I was texting Sup Games. I was like, well, I was wanting to watch it for myself. I would not be sharing it with anybody, which is what I intended to do, not to really be sharing it with anyone, just to see for myself what was going on with Rooster and all. And I was like, well, wasn't Shiro the only one who watched it? And turns out no, and Shiro. Then I was like, or no, Sup Games was like, At least the last screenshot, this time you read it correctly in the stream, which was in part 3. Because last stream, instead of you were saying stuff, and so basically there was an argument about the sponsorship stuff. Then there were arguments that somebody was twisting sentences, but basically then Subgames admitted that at least 6 people were watching the stream. And then turns out that Subgames knows who Milo is, meaning, and so basically there's at least a group of like 4 or 5 people who were in connection with Rooster, right? And unfortunately, other than Humane, I mean, you could argue Dragon, but Dragon's sort of neutral in this matter. Nobody else from my side, other than you could argue that Mercedes was like supporting me on part 3, but Subgames claims that Mercedes is one of his people. But I just find it weird that, you know, I have these over 1,500 subscribers, and you know, there are a few of the recent subscribers who have been on some of the live streams, but it's been kind of all whack all over the place. But yeah, like for example, who was it? The Candy. I'm gonna have to look back at a few of the recent subscribers who've been commenting on my live streams. They, you know, these are the fans from the shorts. Unfortunately, none of them came to the Rooster is Dead live streams, unfortunately, but they come on to the Sped Dad series. So yeah, apparently Subgames knows who Milo is. Let's see here. And then Subgames was mad about what I was saying about Shiro. And then he was saying that, and then he was basically bouncing off what Milo was saying. Let's see here. And basically, Subgames and Milo share the same opinion about personal matters. Let's see here. What else? What else? Okay, so then the next conversation was that Milo and Subgames basically were on this side. Well, basically, they're almost the same person, but 2 different individuals. They share the same views and opinions in this matter. But the next brought up was the topic of, back in part 2, there was mentioning about, you know, I was having a discussion explaining, and this discussion was among myself, Humane, and Dragon, about why we thought Rooster was busy and not answering anybody. And Humane was sort of also trying to figure out why Rooster was blocking him, and Dragon was trying to make sense of the whole matter too. But this issue being that I mentioned some information of what I thought, and Dragon also mentioned information as well too, about what we thought was going on with Rooster, and the idea of we thought maybe he was busy with family, and Dragon and we gave some information that Milo and Subgames thought was too personal and inappropriate for a live stream. And so there, I talked with Rooster regarding this matter last evening, and you know, gave a formal apology regarding that. And then Subgames was like, "No, how dare you even begin to say Rooster is dead? Rooster's not dead. Rooster's blocked you. That's really just what happened." And, you know, there's just some arguments over language and stuff like that. But, and then Subgames thought that I was obsessed with views, which, and I had to, you know, correct him on that, because it's like, well, yeah, views are important, but it's not what I'm looking to get right now. Because we had a conversation, I think this was back during the monthly, you know, we do like a monthly channel update. So like Thigh Company, February 2024. Let's see. Hello, Mug. Welcome, Mug, to the live stream, bro. Who are you? What do you mean? What WTH is you? Who are you? What do you mean? What is that supposed to mean? I'm talking about the Rooster stuff here. This is Stock Company. All right. So yeah, Subgames was like, we were having the argument about views. Subgames was thinking that, oh, I'm just making content just to get views, which is not what I'm, that is important, but that's not like what I'm looking for right now. And back when we had the channel update back in February, we were having a conversation that, oh, hey, we've reached the 1,000 subscriber goal that YouTube requires, the prerequisite in order to get monetized, which we're at now. And of course, we want that number to continue to grow. But the main thing now that is restricting from Thigh Company, like the channel being monetized, is that YouTube requires one of two things, or you could argue it's a multi-step thing, but it's like the main goal to get fully monetized, you need at least 1,000 subscribers, and you need at least 4,000 watch hours. We were at one point, probably like right before the New Year's, we were at 1,000 and something watch hours, which unfortunately dropped, because what they do is YouTube has this what they call a 365-day window, in that apparently it was that 1,000 watch hours was counted, including like the stuff, like the most popular videos, so like the Backrooms series, Backrooms Morphs, some of the other like gameplay videos that was not, let's see here, that was like very popular back during end of 2022 that carried on to 2023. But once 2024 started, YouTube like cut off all those videos and decided not to count those watch hours anymore. And it dropped from like 1,000 something watch hours to like 130. So we were in, really bad on watch hours. We're back up to like 160 right now. Let's see, Mug here. Hey, I only watch your shorts. Well, I appreciate you watching the shorts. I've never watched any of your videos. LOL, sorry. No issues with that. Your shorts are super good. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, we have to right now, and I brought this up during the February channel update, was that right now we really need to heavily focus on creating long content, meaning videos and live streams. But like with the format that's right now on the channel, probably I would kind of roughly guess it's like 95% of the new audience is from the shorts. Maybe 4% is from videos, and then 1% is from like live streams. And that's based off like looking at the analytics on YouTube Studio. So I went back and forth with back to the sub games conversation, explaining what's going on, and he was like, you mentioned the views a lot as well and growing, etc. And you even said in part 2 gave you number 4 views of the stream late. Oh, so what he means by that, and the language a little messed up here, but part 2, at that time it was like the number 4 most viewed live stream on the channel. Right now it's number 3, but we took down part 2 for safety reasons and a few other reasons involving Rooster and kind of a negotiation we had, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But Subgame was saying, oh, you are trying to milk the drama for views. Maybe you aren't, but it looks suspicious, which is not the case. It's more than anything kind of giving you Maine and everybody else who's like, what's going on with Rooster, coverage of that, because everyone's been like messaging me through Discord and for YouTube what's going on with Rooster. And I was like, well, I'm kind of curious myself what's going on. And so that's kind of what the series was about when it first started. And then Subgames was saying, I understand you don't have a good PC and all to make content. So, I would hope that he understands that. And I'm about to go and make a video, and so I have to figure out how I'm going to make this video, recording my laptop that I used to have. Man, the computer situation is so screwy right now. And to give you a little bit of an insight, I had a PC, HP all-in-one, personal computer. You could see me using that computer I was using that with the original Thigh Company channel, and you can see that on the current Thigh Company channel. Like, I think if you go to the oldest videos and you see like the gameplay videos, the drawing videos, the Among Us videos, some of the Roblox videos, like all of those that had like the hand-drawn thumbnails, like all of those videos involved that PC. Then that PC started having these weird Windows updates, and which basically disabled the touchscreen mechanism. And I was like, well, that sucks. Why can't I use my touchscreen anymore on my computer? And I was trying to figure out what to do. And eventually, I think what ended up happening was I tried to do a factory reset on the computer, thinking, oh, I'll just go back to regular normal settings when it was, when I purchased it. And unfortunately, when I did that factory reset, it just, not only did it not bring up the touchscreen anymore, it disabled well, what I mean by disabled is like the speed of the computer went to crap, basically. Like, it was very slow, very laggy. And I eventually decided, well, let me just sell the computer and maybe get a new one. And it took me maybe like a year to sell it, but eventually I sold it on eBay. And I remember I talked about this way more than a year ago, because I think I sold it back in 2021. Maybe 2020. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head because of it being several years ago. But we sold that computer. Then we had the laptop, which was, I had my own original laptop, which was like an HP, what do they call it? A notebook, I think, right? I had that. And then sometime, I don't remember what year it was, but when I went to Russia, my uncle took that laptop and gave it to, I guess you could call it my nephew, I guess, but like a family member. And he did that without telling me, and that kind of got into a scandal. But as a result, I got his laptop, which is an HP laptop that was made for the Russian market. And that laptop had everything in Russian and didn't have any programs. And I had to go and try to reconfigure that laptop to get it to being able to work in the US, basically. So I fixed that, but problem is that, I was doing gameplay videos, and that was all that I was doing probably late 2022 on the Thigh Company channel. And then over time, gradually, that laptop started breaking down. Screens started coming apart, and, things like hardware issues were happening. And on top of that, software issues were happening, which eventually, I think the last thing I was able to do with that laptop was to record. I don't even remember streaming. I think when I was trying to stream, it kept crashing. But basically, I was not able to record gameplay, I'll say I wasn't able to stream gameplay videos. I was only able to record. So that's back when I was doing the Blocks Cards gameplay videos, and a few of the other games like Toy Soldiers, and just in general games. And then, unfortunately, the laptop is now almost unusable. The only thing I use it now is for eBay. And now I'm trying to frantically sell that laptop basically it's for parts / used on eBay. But unfortunately, that's taking forever to sell. So because of that, all I have left now that I actively use for Thigh Company is the Chromebook. If I wanted to, I could probably try to do some reconfiguring / programming to get it back to where I can live stream the webcam videos off of that laptop, but that's going to be very impossible because I can't. It's at the point now where the laptop won't even hold the screen; it just collapses. And then plus, on top of that, my little sister damaged the computer, and my mom damaged that. Well, I should say laptop. My little sister and my mom both damaged that laptop. So as right now, it's I gotta sell it and get rid of it as soon as I can. And then from there, the plan will probably be to go and save up to get a new PC. And I'm doing a lot of searching online, trying to find a decent personal computer that I can use to go back to the gaming stuff that I was doing back with the original PC that I had. So that kind of covers the stuff that, Sub Games was bringing up about, oh, I understand you don't have a good PC, but I'm like, how do you know that? It's kind of a generalized assumption there, but all right. Don't understand you don't have a good PC and all to make your own content. It's sad, really. I know you had a big channel back in the day, but lost it because of too many copyrights. So I'm like, well, hold up. How did you find out about the original channel? I'm like, someone must have told you about that because that was like 4 or 5 years ago. So, I had some confusion on that. Because and to cover the original channel right quick, that's going to be like the next conversation. And go get some water right quick, because when you're talking for like 45 minutes or whatever it is, it's tough to do, especially with any sort of public speaking. All right, so I'm walking around here. Okay. So yeah, the original Thigh Company channel, I think it was started in 2017. Maybe, somewhere around 2017 is my guess. Could have been earlier, could have been later. I don't recall off the top of my head anymore. But on that channel, we got close to like 14,000 subscribers. And I think what happened there, because we didn't have any copyright issues at all. So I don't know who told Subgames that. May have been Rooster. I don't think it was Rooster. I think it may have been somebody else. Or if it was Rooster, Rooster's kind of mistaken and doesn't seem to remember what happened with the live streams there. But I told Subgames about what happened, because at that time we were live streaming like Ninja Legends was the number one thing, but we did a few other games, and so we were doing a series of live streams that involved like what I call pet simulator games, or simulator genre. Basically, was the whole trending thing at that time on Roblox, where people were like, "Oh, I want this figure, I want this freaking animal," and basically, arguably, it's like a Pokemon system, basically, where oh, I gotta catch them all, catch this, catch that. Oh, that creature or entity has to be better than this. And Ninja Legends was like the top thing at the time when we were actively live streaming. And that's probably how I got close to 14,000 subscribers. And what ended up happening was we were doing these like giveaways back then. And we had a team of people. Dan's was part of the team, and Dan's still a friend of mine and friend of Rooster's. I think he had like 2 people from Vietnam. I had a one guy from who was friends with Dan. I'm trying to remember where he was from, Australia or some English speaker. I don't remember where he was from. But then I had 2 other guys. I don't know if I think they were from Indonesia. And the 2 Indonesia guys were the guys who were kind of these like hackers who would go into the games and they would make copies and duplicates of pets. And then I would have this like huge library of all kinds of different pets from like each update. Like whenever they would have a new update, we basically would have like 100 like different pets of like the strongest pets. And we're like, well, Thigh, how about let's do this? Let's help you monetize the channel, and we'll start doing giveaways so people don't have to grind all day to get the toughest pet, and waste their hours away and days away to get something that's so that don't really mean anything, right? And so that's what we were doing, and we monetized the channel, and I think we were monetized for maybe like 3 months before the channel was taken down, and I made like $150 off of that. And that was fun. And unfortunately, a lot of people started like spamming and reporting the channel because not everybody got a pet, because you only have a select amount of pet in that library, and before have to go back and try to make duplicates over and over again, and you can't really be doing that all in one sitting in a live stream. So yeah, so unfortunately, and I tell people it's like, oh, the channel was taken down from spam, but I suspect that YouTube thought this was like an online lottery, which I hope is not the case, but it's like, if you understand what I mean, I'm concerned that people thought that you had to, like, there was something that was needed to be done before you got the pet. But there's a bunch of different issues. But Rooster thought, so here's what my theory is that Rooster probably told Sup Games a different story. Rooster thought it was copyright issues back on the original channel, based on what I'm reading here. And then Rooster also told a different story to Sup Games that, Thigh Company was reusing old live streams for a current live stream, which I'm not too sure what Rooster means by that, other than I'm assuming what he's talking about is like a few instances where, if I had to go to work or to sleep, we would start replaying an old live stream, and it would just be like gameplay videos or something for people to watch. Because, again, one of the issues back then was that we needed the watch hours, because and the current Thigh Company channel is kind of having the same issue as well, where we have a bunch of subscribers, but we don't have really much of any watch hours because, well, on this situation, it's different because it's from the shorts, and for some weird, strange reason, YouTube doesn't want to count shorts watch hours to monetization goals, which, there is an arguable issue with that. So that's something that, and some people argue that that's not fair, but I'm like, well, I get her purpose because they have an inflated marketing for the shorts versus regular videos, which can be a good or bad thing depending on how you look at it. So let's see what else has been going on. So, and I'm kind of looking around for where I had my notes here. I had a notes thing talking about other stuff, but anyway, I'll go down further list here. Back to Sup Games. Sup Games then starts saying something about there was drama with Sniper World or Sniper Wolf and Jack Films. I'm not too familiar with what that's covering. So we had some confusion on that. And I'm not familiar with that whole situation, that argument. The other thing that was an issue was that Sup Games had the same issue as what Rooster had regarding some of the animation videos. And he's like, so Rooster and Sup Games, hopefully Milo's not part of this, or a mono or whatever it is. I got to talk about that creature later. Was talking about how a few of the recent Roblox animation, like Rooster had a problem with stuff back in January, but apparently all three of them had issues where back in, like we had a few of the Roblox animation videos where he's talking about like the Roblox anime videos where Rooster and Sup Games basically had the same opinion that I didn't provide, like their way of crediting they thought was like unacceptable or something like that. So let's see, hopefully this works. I'm trying to fix the camera here. Okay, that's always fun when you try to do something and this thing doesn't want to work on you. I gotta do it the old way. All right. So yeah, I gotta cover the camera for a second. I gotta fix some stuff. Basically, what ended up happening was that they had some issues with how the animation stuff was being done, and I'll even show you all some of the stuff that Sup Games was writing here, so you can see their opinion as well. And I'll give you all like 30 seconds to see that for a second. Let me see if I can pull up Discord so y'all can kind of read some of this. So let's go back, because I want to go back to the part where they're talking about the arguments about where's the sniper stuff? I thought oh yeah, I was talking about this issue here. So the argument was that Rooster and Sub Games didn't see a lot of the crediting that was done in the middle of the video, and they thought that basically the description needed to include it as well, which I later did like fix everything with Rooster, because Rooster was like saying, hey, these are the videos that I don't like, that you don't have the credits to the, well, basically like the formatting issue was what Rooster was asking here. But you can kind of read the whole thing about Sniper Wolf and the original channel argument stuff. So yeah, if you want to read that for a quick minute. All right, we're back now. So yeah, basically the issue was that there was some about the channel. So yeah, so we talked about the original channel. So then argument about the credit stuff, which I later had talked to Rooster about. Then I was like, here's the correction, because apparently you were told one story about the original channel when there's really another thing. And then he was saying that, oh, Rooster talked about often oh, okay, my bad. I read this wrong. Rooster talked often about you when he was streaming a couple years ago. So I guess Sup Games has been watching Rooster's streams way back then. Rooster found my channel and watched me often, and therefore met Shiro and my other viewers. Shiro is my viewer in the first place. He barely knows Rooster. Anyways, old channel or not, you have to stop obsessing over views. So again, there's an argument over the views. It ain't that good anyways. I know how hard it is, believe me, but still. So we can start going back and forth talking about the views. So yeah, here's the other thing. Apparently, so Sup Games has a good relationship with Mono. And Mono is this, I don't know who Mono is. Mono's like a friend of Rooster's, but like, I guess a good friend of Sup Games. But is like the the ringleader of the attacks, basically. And then Sup Games starts going off talking about, I heard some streams were fake and done on repeat. Like when sleeping, we see a lot of these in Roblox, in Roblox community taking advantage of young, dumb kids. What is that supposed to mean? Like, I don't understand that argument at all. But whatever, I don't know about what happened really, and it doesn't matter. Also, just a tip, up to you to do what you want, but you might want to remove the Rooster's Dead stuff, which I doubt, since you want the views. And again, so start going back to the views argument. But anyway, but yeah, apparently Mono was trying to report the channel on different things, and I won't. Rooster basically got Mono to stop. So then we start going back and forth talking about, all right, let's start the negotiations. So we finally start the negotiations here. So we took down the Rooster's Dead Part 2 video. And my understanding, according to Sup Games, Milo, and Rooster, they're all going to stop doing any sort of reporting and all that. So we've cleared that out. Then Sup Games set up a talk with Rooster. And we can now go to. Here's where it gets interesting. So Sup Games was saying, "Oh, I'm going to go back to my games. The drama was funny, but I'm out." So All right, so I guess there was some kind of comedy in this, but um, here's where we end up start talking with Rooster. Okay, and so this was another important part here. So with Rooster, here's where some clarity. We start getting some clarity here. So let me go back to where we were talking here. Where is the conversation start? All right, I'm like, hello, and Rooster's like, I just want to hear you talk. I'm like, and all right. So Rooster doesn't want any sort of voice chat. Okay. So here's the first thing. Rooster had an issue regarding the sponsorship of the animations, which I'm like, all right, we're not going to do no more animations. We're going to go to gameplay videos, which we both agreed on. That's fine. The next issue was that sometime like a year ago or so, probably really, there were live streams where we were kind of like, I guess, sort of making fun of Rooster more or less, but it was intended to be like in a funny, like comedic way, not to like hurt anything, but Humane started going out of line. And because Humane was going all crazy, Rooster was like, this is harassment. And he was claiming that I was trying to get viewers to harass him, which wasn't correct. But, we agreed on that something that needed to be fixed. Then in one of the live streams, which I need to figure out which one, I think it's the Rooster is Sped live stream that was over a year ago. Humane started making these like stupid threats talking about, oh, I'm going to go over to Rooster's house and what was he saying? Something like, I'm going to go to Rooster's house and I'm going to end him. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's not something that's Humane should have been saying. And Humane was being, dumb. But Rooster was also arguing that I don't want, what does it say? Humane was 11 years old. And Humane was saying it's just for content. And Rooster was saying, I don't care if it's just for content. He was straight up harassing someone. And which I understand that was inappropriate for Humane to be saying all that. So I told him that I was going to rewatch the stream again and see what's going on exactly to see the full context of everything. And I told him that I was going to have a serious conversation with Humane on his language, and that and one of the arguments was that Humane needs to grow up. So I told him I agree with you, and that respect is absolute. And one thing I wanted to clear up with Rooster is, so apparently, on the streams that happened over a year ago where we were talking about Rooster, and the argument was that Rooster is not going back to Roblox, and we're like, what's going on with that? Humane was making fun of Rooster, and I was laughing at Humane about some of the stuff he was saying, but Rooster took it as if I was laughing at him. So, we had some discussion about that. Then we went to the next topic about me talking about his YouTube channel. And he said, and as for my YouTube channel, I don't post for clicks. I post what I want to post, and I don't care if it gets clicks or not. So again, I think there's a misconception that everybody's into views. Yeah, views is important, but it's not like a big thing that everybody, looks at. Especially for my channel, yes, views are important, but the watch hours is what I'm more concerned about. I don't care if it gets clicks or not. The Trackmania content was because I have become super infamous in that game. You can literally ask almost any streamer and they will know who I am. So apparently Rooster is a famous person in Trackmania, which I was not aware of. So then we start talking about Milo or Mono. So I think there was some confusion. So it's like monoply, but it's supposed to be pronounced monopoly. So that's something that there was some confusion on. So we agreed on peace with all of that. Then the other issue was that Rooster thought that I was being manipulative. And so I was asking, what do you mean by manipulative? And he says that he doesn't appreciate that, and he points to 3 different live streams that occurred over a year ago. He says he doesn't appreciate me making live streams that was recording some conversations. So basically what he's referring to is that if we're having conversations on Discord, so in the future, he requires for me to let him know that I'm going to record any conversations. So the 3 live streams he's talking about that he has issues with is the what happened to Rooster live stream, which was like over a year ago. Rooster's back on YouTube, which is another live stream that happened over a year ago. And then is Rooster coming back to Roblox stuff, which is about 11 months ago, or arguably a year ago. So we set up some parameters and rules what to do with that. Let's see. Then the next thing was... Okay, so then the last thing. So the question about Roblox and Rooster. So Rooster has come to a decision that he doesn't think he'll ever play Roblox again. He says that occasionally he might check out Disaster Master, but nothing else. So it would seem that Rooster is completely out of Roblox now, which is very sad and unfortunate. And I'm sure it's disappointing to the Roblox community as well. But Rooster is fine with getting back to doing like regular gameplay videos, maybe having a chat here and there. The other thing that Rooster is wanting is for an official apology from Humane, and I told him yes, I'll work to getting Humane to do that. But unfortunately, yesterday and today I haven't been able to get in touch with Humane, and I kept texting Humane and calling him, and he's not answering any calls. And I kept texting him, and the one thing was like, "What do you want? I'm busy. I'm tired." That's what Humane said, which is kind of unlike what Humane typically talks. But so apparently, I guess the switch now is that we're going to focus on one. Humane's got to apologize, and that's one thing I really agree with Rooster on. And then try to figure out where do we go from here? Like, what is Rooster's plans from now? Is he going to continue playing Trackmania? Is he going to be playing some other games? We don't know. But overall, we understand that Rooster is going to stop Roblox and he's now going to Steam games. So you probably see Rooster on Steam now. The next thing that we're going to try to figure out is whether or not we can start getting into that. But again, that's going to be like way later down the line when I can get myself a PC or personal computer. So for me to get that, I need to sell my laptop, which I don't know when that's going to be done because I've dropped the price probably 4 or 5 times now on eBay. So I'm hoping that gets sold maybe in February, maybe in March. We'll see, but you never know with how eBay's market is. And we're probably going to start, if we can't get onto the PC soon, we may try to go into a different option or a different route, maybe possibly with a laptop, but I doubt that'll be something I would want to do. But we're doing some like searching right now online on like Amazon and a few other places to see what makes sense. Another possible option, if I can get authorization from like my mechanic buddy, I might start maybe doing live streams and gameplays from his computer because he has maybe 2 or 3 computers. He has like a Bitcoin mining computer. Then he has a work computer, and then he has a home gaming PC. But they're the way they have them set up is very unusual. So yeah, so that's pretty much. So yeah, we're back to being friends on Discord. Um, Rooster doesn't want me to be in the Rooster Rights Discord group at the current moment. Maybe perhaps later in the future. And we have to, unfortunately, start from scratch regarding getting back to being friends. And I don't know. I just find it unfortunate that Rooster doesn't want to get back into Roblox. That's probably one of the most devastating things to the community. But what I'm thinking is that perhaps, if I can get back into getting into Roblox and doing something good with that, perhaps as a result, that might get Rooster get back to Roblox, possibly. If you understand what I mean by that, like me playing Roblox could maybe convince Rooster to get back into playing Roblox. Otherwise, we are looking at a few Steam games. I know Sub Games is playing Pal World right now. I was thinking about maybe looking into possibly getting into Pal World, but problem is that, one of the things with the Thigh Company channel is, we're not making any money right now, other than if we're making any money, the only money that's being made is from people going into the eBay store, or what I call the merch store. And the eBay store is basically what is bringing in any sort of money in terms of like online businesses and all that. And there was another argument that I was having, being made that Rooster doesn't know how to run a business. But then I was like, well, I don't want to get into that idea as well, because it's like, well, Rooster's busy doing other stuff. But the problem is that, right now what we're doing with Thigh Company is we're trying to get the Thigh Company channel into a device or, a thing that makes money. And we're, halfway there, basically. And I was trying to encourage Rooster to, hey, let's work together to help build up your channel, because I would like for you to be able to get monetized as well. But apparently that conversation went south somewhere. So I have to figure out what to do there. So yeah, that's one of the other issues that Rooster and I were talking about, and we have to figure out what we're going to do in terms of resolving that. But then Rooster's also busy with his full-time job, and I don't know what else is going on in his end either. So what we're trying to do now is, one thing we're wanting to do is we got to find what I call it worst case MIA again. In terms of YouTube and all that, we're gonna have to come up with something. So yeah, so I'll kind of show you all a quick screenshot again of what conversation with Rooster was looking like. Let me share screens with the Discord right quick. So yeah, that's basically what we were talking with Rooster lately. And I'll be right back and just kind of show you all that, one of the things we got to do is get Humane to apologize. So that's, one really big thing that I need to get Humane. So if Humane watching this live stream, you realize what you got to do right now, right? So I'll be right back. All right, there we go. We're back here. So, yeah, so basically Humane's got to go, fix himself with that. All right, so back to stop sharing here. Yeah. So, yeah, one of the other issues is that we got to figure out where we're going to take the Thigh Company channel now, too. Because as far as I can tell, Shorts is what is bringing in the audience right now. And I'll probably encourage Rooster, if he can start doing Shorts videos, even if it's Trackmania or, some other game like Rust, that's probably going to help his channel out a lot as well. But I have no freaking clue. I got to look into how to get Shorts. Like, how do I record, like, we put into a Shorts? Because I know with Rooster, what he ended up doing was one way to get into Shorts was like if he, so instead of doing it like landscape, if you're recording a video that's portrait, and if it's less than a minute, it may qualify for a short. That's what he did with the what's it called, the Hop on Pop series, if you remember that from when we were monetized, like, several years ago. That's like the only short that Rooster has on his channel. But if he does more of that, I think that would be certainly something that would help. But yeah, that's pretty much, I guess, the argument with that. The other issue, so yeah, because okay, so back to like the monetization and the money issue here. So the only money we're making is from eBay. Thigh Company, it's the channel itself is not making any money. So like, why would I, go and get into debt? I guess is one thing. Yemaine is here. Welcome with Choppa. Y'all still talking about this? Yemaine, I've been trying to get in touch with you for the last 48 hours. Yeah, we're still talking about this because it's a serious conversation. And I told you through Facebook that I just managed to get Rooster to unblock me. So, hopefully I don't know if are you aware of what Rooster was saying about you? Like why he blocked you? And some of his other follow-up reasons? Like, what's as to what the whole picture is? So, hope you understand what's going on, Yemaine. But yeah, we're still talking about this. I don't know if this, hopefully this is the last of the Rooster's Dead series. But we'll find out. Are you I don't know if you're even still in the conversation. You may have just left. But yeah, you got to make a formal apology, Yemaine. But yeah, back to money here, unless I get Yemaine to start talking again. So yeah, eBay's the only thing that's bringing in money. Thigh Company, we got to get that monetized so we can start getting super chats, ad revenue, and then maybe start selling stuff through there possibly. I'm more inclined to sell on eBay though, because I know YouTube takes a large cut from whatever you sell, or even like with the super chats. I think they take at least, oh man, I think they take it like 30%, which is very high. I know back when we were doing like the original Thigh Company, one thing we were doing was that we were doing like PayPal donations, and Streamlabs had a donation thing which ran through PayPal. What ended up happening was everybody was donating money and then freaking going into PayPal and then refunding that donation without like, how do you send money and then get your money back? Take that money away from me, which that was one of the issues with PayPal. So I'm like, oh, now we're not going with PayPal anymore because we don't, we're not playing with that game anymore. So we're probably going to do either Cash App, or if PayPal has a different system in mind that they can work with, that might help, because the only thing I use PayPal is probably with like when I'm buying like shipping and postage with eBay. That's usually what the only thing happens with PayPal. But like Cash App would be really good, because Cash App, I have full, as far as I know, I believe I have full control over Cash App, and Cash App is pretty easy to use. So we may go back into that eventually, but I feel like we need to we have to figure out something, because what I'm going to try to do now, and problem is we have a lot of projects that we're trying to save up for, like what I call financial projects, because my mom wants to get an apartment. Then I don't know what to do with my grandfather. We're trying to figure out what to do with that, and then. We have eventually there's like, what is there? It's like we have what I call a semi-legal issue in Russia that we got to figure out as well. So more than likely, we may eventually try to get a trip into Russia during the summer. So that's kind of a maybe, meaning that we got to go find tickets now. Oh man, that's going to be expensive. So we'll see how that goes. Which probably is going to suck. What else has been going on? So yeah, eventually, if I can get that phase done, and then the next phase is like, I got to get the way I see it is like, for me to get the PC, I have to one sell the laptop because regardless, even if I get a PC, the laptop's going to take up space. So if you want to help us out with getting a laptop, we are selling a laptop on eBay. We're also selling the Nintendo Switch. If you're interested in getting a Nintendo Switch, like if the laptop sells and the Nintendo Switch sells, we'll probably have about a little under half of maybe halfway of the funds into getting a PC. I'm kind of hoping that the artwork sells. If my artwork sells, then that's going to help a lot. But unfortunately, that hasn't been selling no matter what. The only thing that's sold is maybe some drawings. But we have a lot of stuff that needs to sell. Like to show you all what I'm talking about. And I know this is sort of plugging the eBay store a little bit, but I'm gonna share the screen right quick of what I'm talking about with eBay. Come on now, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Like, if we can get some of this stuff on eBay to sell, then we could probably get the funds for to get the PC. And this is what I mean by the laptop. Like, we're selling the laptop here. We got a bunch of paintings that we're trying to sell. We have a rug that we're trying to sell. I don't think we'll make much money from the rug because shipping is so high. But like foreign currency, maybe you want to get some of that. Have a shower hardware, heating blankets, stamps, scarves, a few other things as well. So if you get some of this also will help out the channel. But we have over like 600 things that we're selling right now, so that's probably going to help. But yeah, anyway, so that's probably one of the next projects. If we can get back into doing gaming or gameplay videos, it would be probably more than likely from getting the money from eBay, because I don't see what else can be done. And I know Yumain's like even in an even worse situation when it comes to like gaming as well. Like, he has no money coming in. And I'm like, well, I can help you, Yumain, to get some money, but like everything I've explained hasn't been like on the list of what he's wanting to do. So that's another, I guess, potential issue. But yeah, so hopefully I'm kind of optimistic that this resolves the whole Rooster is dead situation, the whole conflict. So I guess the issue will go from now. And I'm hoping that, and I'm being kind of optimistic that this gets, we can grow, I guess, into a new direction from here. So we're gonna, stop with that. Probably we're going to stop with animation videos unless something kind of a big new change happens, which I don't know if that will happen or not. Because as far as I can tell, I mean, I stopped animation videos and then went into I did want like one gameplay video, but that one gameplay video, even it being like a minute long, nobody wanted to see those Roblox anime, which was what was trending. Which I don't get how that works. And the other option is I could try to get into doing like artwork videos. I don't know if that would be popular or not. Hopefully it would be. But yeah, I mean, this pretty much has been, I guess, the end of this topic. And for live streams, I've also started doing polls as well, asking the community what you all think we should be doing live streams on. And it looks like everybody wants for me to overall go into talking about or continuing the Sped Dad series and other family stories. And then second place is like work stories, which I'll probably cover as well. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much where we're going to be heading towards with the live streams now. So yeah, if you are a fan of the Thigh Company series, make sure you subscribe to Thigh Company. That's one of the big things we're trying to do. We're kind of hoping that the short views start going up again, because we like slow down in the subscriber count now. So we're kind of like hoping we can get to at least 1,600 subscribers. We were hoping we could get to 1,700, but the short views have been all over the place now. But yeah, if you have not already, make sure to subscribe to Thigh Company. Hit the bell icon so you get notifications for future live stream episodes and videos and all that. Give this video a thumbs up and like the video if you have not already. And also comment down below what you would like to see for future videos. Maybe you have suggestions for maybe content for live stream and all that. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Thigh Company. Hope you all have a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of your February. And we'll see you on the next live stream. Thank you guys so much. Hope you all take care. Have fun. Stay safe.